So now we're at module 6, and this is goal setting. We've done such a lot of work. If you think about what you've probably got in front of you now, you've got the wheel of life, you've got a good idea of the imbalances and the things that you want to address. You've got the identity that you would love to create for yourself, and you've brought that to life in terms of the personalities and the persona. You know who your role models are, and therefore the values that you have and the behaviours that you appreciate and admire. You have an understanding of the amazing things that have happened in your past, the things that were magical for you and that you now would love to repeat. On the other side of the coin, you've got things that didn't enjoy so much, didn't work out, do not want to repeat. You've got personality traits about yourself that you love and you want to do more of, and you've got things about your personality that maybe don't make you feel so great, and you don't want to repeat those and feel that way. So we've got a huge amount of material now to go with, which are going to make up your goals. You've also got the depiction of your perfect day. From start to finish, you've really brought that to life and you visualize how that could be. We've got some great material to actually pull together some key goals for you to actually now to start working on. What I would say is, before we actually really dive into this, and we are going to, let's just put anything else down in terms of goals that you would like to achieve. So this is a time for you to have a scan through everything that you've written and just think, is there anything else that I would love to achieve goals wise? Because the next thing we're going to do is prioritize all of these goals. So I'll give you some time now, get your head down, review all of your material, and just think, really, the world's my oyster. I can do whatever I want. You might want to stand up and shake yourself about for this, even go for a walk and do a bit of exercise. You need to be in really a positive mental state to do this, because we're going to make this happen. As I explained to you before, these things come true when you actually implement these techniques. May as well get your wish list all down there. Write everything down now that you would love to achieve, and we'll then come back and we'll start to plan it. Okay, welcome back. I imagine you have a big list of goals now, and you probably feel pretty excited about it. And some of these goals are bigger than others. Some will be little things that we can probably get sorted pretty fast with a bit of focus, and others will seem pretty large. And I imagine you've got some there as well which are insurmountable. If you did what we said and put huge goals, some things that you would absolutely love and be astonished if you were to achieve, then I imagine you've got some large ones as well. The next step is to go through all of this and to start to assign a time period to it. And to make it a bit more manageable, let's use either 1 year, 3 years, or more than 3 years. So go through everything from start to finish, and this includes everything you've written down in terms of messes, identities, personalities, actual material things to get. I imagine you have there relationships to build, businesses, career, body, mind, all of this stuff. Go through line by line and put beside it 1 year, 3 years, or more than 3 years. And when you've done that, we will then start to look at them in groups and decide how we're going to diarise these activities to actually make them happen. So welcome back. I imagine you've had some fun doing that and deciding what you're going to achieve in year 1, and then years 2 and 3, and then beyond years 3. And it's a great feeling, isn't it, to think of all the opportunities that you've got out there to improve. That's what's so brilliant about life, really, is that it's all within our control, actually. And the more you start to work through these steps, the more you will realise that. And it makes life very, very exciting, as I say. Before we go to take the next step, what I would say is the next modules are about your body and your business. And when we say business, we mean starting a business, running a business, or indeed your career. You may well be employed. The same things apply. So we need to make sure that the goals that you've got there do relate to those particular sections. So have a scan through and make sure. And if you feel that you're light on any of those sections, put some more goals in. And then the other thing is to make sure that your 1 year goals are going to sort of take you towards your 3 year goals, and that your 3 year goals are going to take you towards your 3+ year goals. We need to make sure that you're not veering off in a different direction. And I would imagine if this is coming from you and you've put all your thoughts and feelings and desires down on this paper and during this exercise, that they are vaguely taking you in the same direction. But just make sure that they are, that they link together, and that if you achieve your 1 year goals, you're that bit closer to your 3 year goals. And do make sure, as I said, that you've got sufficient goals in each of those sections relating to your body and your business. So now we're getting to the exciting bit. let's have a look at your 1 year goals. That's what we're really going to focus on now. So I'd like you to go through your 1 year goals, and I would like you to prioritize them, the most important to you at the top, running down. I hope you've got, between 10 and sort of 12 goals. I think many more than that is going to be a bit too much for you. So as you're going through, maybe if you have significantly more than that, maybe consider should some of those go beyond the 1 year. But at least 10. Give yourself 10 solid goals. And remember with these goals, the principle of SMART, and I don't know if you've heard that before. SMART means they need to be very specific. They need to be very measurable, so you know if you're making progress or not. They need to be achievable. That means that let's not have a goal that says you're going to be taller. They need to be achievable goals. And then we're on R, which means we want them to be results orientated, having something specific at the end of it that you can say, yes, I achieved that goal or I didn't. And then time trackable. Make sure we've got a clear time frame for each of these goals, so we are very, very clear on what it is that we're trying to achieve. Sometimes people say something like, I want to be thinner, slimmer, richer, happier, nicer, kinder. Well, that's great, but let's be a bit more specific. If you want to be richer, well, how much more and by when? How is that going to be achievable? Make sure that when you're going through these 10 goals and you're prioritizing them, that you are applying these SMART principles to them. So I'll give you some time to do that, and then we'll get to the next step. Okay, so you've no doubt now got at least 10 goals, maybe a few more, and you have categorized them in accordance with the 3 main objectives: your mindset, your body, and your business. We've got lots more content in the next modules to talk to you about the plan of how to achieve these goals. But for now, start to look at the sorts of things that you could do to achieve some of these goals. For example, if you have body related goals, clearly there's going to be things to do with exercise, with nutrition, with sleeping, with meditation. A lot of these things we're going to cover in detail, but you've probably got your own thoughts already on the sorts of things that you could do there and the activities you could take, chosen exercises that you enjoy, etc., that you could actually do to start to achieve those goals. And the same with your mindset. We've already talked about the different personalities that you would prefer, the behaviours that you appreciate, the values that you have relating to the role model. So the sorts of things that you could do more of, think more of, the language you could use, etc., to start to achieve those mindset goals. And then relating to business, I'm sure again that you are aware of the sorts of things that maybe you could do to achieve some of those goals. And as I say, we have the subsequent modules now to go through in some real detail to help you do that step by step. But I just want you to start to think, what sorts of things could you do to achieve those goals? At the end of the 3rd module, we are going to revisit the whole thing and you'll have a detailed plan. But for now, we've got to the point where you've got a strong mindset, you know the identity you're trying to create, you're aware of the actual values that you have and the behaviors that you want to implement and the personalities you want to be in. You know how you want to feel. You have chosen your beliefs. You have chosen your story. You're in much more control with regard to your mindset. You also know the specific goals that you would love to achieve. You know when you want to achieve them by. You're all set really. There's just one more thing that we need to now look at, and that is how are you going to track your progress as you progress through this year. So we'll come on to scorecard next.